And welcome to another episode of the Star Sequence Podcast, formerly known as the Grimcast.
Yay!
We are episode
Hooray.
19. That's right, we're almost at 20. We're still going on with this crapshoot.
Yay.
And we have now moved back over to YouTube because apparently no one gives a fuck about podcasts over on Twitch. So, whatever.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, Twitch had so many nice feature redos.
Yeah, it's more
Well,
fun.
then
on
again,
YouTube
it's
anyway.
mainly there to stream video games. No,
Yep,
it
pretty
just
much.
tends to end up being just fucking Dota and League of Legends most of the time anyway.
Pretty much.
Well, there turns out that there's only a small.
QQ, you cut out.
There's only a small handful of games that end up being interesting as spectator sports, and I think Twitch has pretty much nailed what they are.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Well, how is
So how
everyone's
was
week?
everyone's week?
Starting
I
with
had a
Fuzztail.
I had a good day. Oh, sorry, never mind.
You owe each other a Coke, by the way.
I will shoot myself before I go and actually buy someone a Coke, QQ.
I prefer Pepsi.
Not a Coke fan. I prefer Dr. Pepper, a real man's drink.
Give me a Pepsi or Mountain Dew, and alcohol good.
Okay, I'll give you Mountain Dew. So, Fuzzy,
Yes?
how was your week?
It's pretty good. I actually spent the most of it with Chelsea and just playing Warframe with her and hanging out.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's always nice to spend time with your loved ones.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I've been starting work on commissions, but there really isn't much to say about it other than it involves a friend's game that they've been working on, and it's a friend who decided he wants to commission me again.
All right.
Okay. How about you, QQ?
Oh, well, I had to get up really, really early one day because there was a production system I needed to work on early in the morning. That was fun. So, first half of my week was preparing for that, and the second half of my week was recovering from that. I did get a bit of gaming in today, though, so that was cool. I played some really, really terrible Go against someone because I've never really played that game before, and I'm pretty much crap at it. And then a chunk of us did some 100% orange juice,
Yeah.
which Coda annihilated us all at.
Yes, I did.
No,
I snuck in that victory.
Coda won by a hair. But Coda did.
I would totally play CSGO with you guys.
Yeah,
I
we can make
would.
up a really terrible team together.
Yeah, I would definitely if someone would buy it for me.
Let's make a team where we all go through matches with a revolver. Just troll the people, because there was this one time in CS:GO when the
In
revolver
Bandcamp?
was just released, and that gun was a one-hit kill gun at range.
And it was OP as heck.
Yep, it's basically a poor man's op,
Oh boy. Oh
and
boy.
it was that accurate when you stand still and you're not firing in fanning mode.
They completely unbalanced the game, didn't they?
Yep,
Have they nerfed it yet?
yeah, they nerfed it, so now you need 2 shots to kill a person.
That's much better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then.
How about you, Miska?
My week was actually pretty good for a change. Most of which happened today because I was playing Pokemon X earlier. And no, most everyone probably isn't going to realize this, but I have been training an Eevee. I've been getting on Pokemon every day and petting it and feeding it treats and stuff to get a Sylveon, and I got my Sylveon today.
Yay!
Congratulations!
And it's wonderful. That Sylveon has kicked ass through several battles already. Though I think that has more to do with the affection rating than it does the Pokemon itself. But you know what? I'm not complaining. Sylveon, and I got my
Is it
Sylveon.
a boy,
I
Sylveon?
also got my hands on a
Yay.
Lucario from the Gym Leader Karina, but then I misspelled its name, so I'm trying to get back to the city with the name changer. But yeah, that's what happened with me. Got my cute little Sylveon.
Is
The
the boy
perfect trap.
Sylveon?
No, not a trap. My Sylveon's female.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that's disappointing, but well, for you two anyway.
Well, as for me, let's see here.
Dakota got fucked in the butt and he enjoyed it, and that's it. Moving on.
That's not what at all happened.
No, you didn't get fucked in the butt by a family member-in-law?
No, not at all. I don't know where you got that idea. Anyway.
Tease you.
Yes. Well, finally, in World of Warcraft, I finally got my Flying Moose mount.
Yay!
Yay! I killed Heroic Archimon. Now it's just Moose for plural.
I know. Yeah. Why is the plural of moose not meese if goose is geese?
I don't know, okay?
Meeses.
And also, I got the Vial de Sands mount. Another mount that's hard to get. You
do a lot of mounting in WoW, don't you? You sure you're not
Apparently.
on Warcraft servers?
The Great Tusk mount. And also, I finished most of the Diablo 3 seasonal achievement stuff and got the new companion pet for the season. It's a wood sprite. It looks like a little tiny tree.
Cool.
I showed Mishka it. He can confirm that's a little tiny tree.
He showed it to me. It's actually kind of funny.
And it does evil cackle at me every now and again. The only good thing about them, besides just being a little thing to follow you around, is they run ahead of you and collect all the gold from the monsters you kill.
Oh, the sprites in Grand Fantasia do that. They run around and grab gold for you.
The other
They
companion...
have something like that in Warframe as well. It's called Carriers, and it's a robot drone that you can build. And what it does, it is basically vacuums up mods and resources for you as it drops. And it's actually quite useful.
And the other pet I have is a baby frost wolf pup mongrel thing. I don't know exactly what the hell it is other than it's a demonic frost dog. A baby frost dog. Baby demonic frost dog. And Grim, how's your week been since you've been quiet the entire time?
Pretty neutral and normal. I played a few games. I mostly was playing Sonic Advance because I've been on a Sonic kick recently, I guess.
Because you gotta go fast.
Yeah, I just gotta go fast. That's about it, roughly. Other than that, it's been extremely uneventful for me. So I can't really, talk much about it.
Okay then.
Sounds like everyone's week has been pretty okay. And mostly uneventful. Aside from me killing Heroic Archimon. Finally, you have no idea how much of a fucking pain that was. 3 fucking months of trying to kill him.
Good golly.
Yeah.
That's a lot of grinding.
And it's the same damn fight strategy from apparently the original time they had him in the game. Just this time he also threw the people into the netherworld. Yeah. Anyway, let's begin with the first article. Mishki.
Alrighty. So, you might notice we're going to do something slightly different again this week. We're trying to figure out ways of getting this done easier, quicker, getting everything out faster. So this week I will be reading out the articles and then we will discuss. And right off the start, we're starting with Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden creates a free-to-play mobile RPG, and it's going to be shit like all the rest. Heavy metal and gaming has always sort of gone together, and at least among the folks I've gamed with through the years. And a recent game announcement concerning the band Iron Maiden seems to strengthen that assumed bond. According to this website, Iron Maiden has given the okay to use their name and mascot in an upcoming free-to-play mobile RPG called Legacy of the Beast. Battle as Eddie in his many guises across the world, inspired by the rich lore and music of Iron Maiden, one of the most iconic, influential bands of all time. A mysterious force has shattered Eddie's soul and scattered the shards. Travel through time and space, collecting the pieces as you encounter a cast of dramatic and engaging characters. A powerful soundtrack enhances gameplay, probably not even Iron Maiden's music for some reason. Using songs spanning from Iron Maiden's entire career.
Oh.
Okay, I admit I should have kept reading, never mind. Including previously unheard live recordings adapted for the game by engineer Tony Newton under the close scrutiny of Steve Harris. As you can imagine, there aren't many more details to go on. All that is known is that the company behind Warhammer 40,000 Carnage, Roadhouse Interactive, is behind its development. We'll keep you posted as more information emerges.
Okay, so I just have one comment.
Comment.
This is an MMO, right? Where every
It's a
person...
MOBA. It looks like.
Okay, but every person... Oh, it's an RPG. I was gonna say, every person plays as Eddie. It must not be multiplayer then.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's basically like a Diablo clone or something, because that's pretty much how it goes with heavy metal bands to video game transitions.
I decided to take a look at the what the hell is Warhammer 40k Carnage is, because I never heard of it. It's a Warhammer side-scrolling beat-em-up for Android.
Uh-huh.
Well,
And here's
I
the
lost
thing,
all
like,
interest from that.
Yeah. No offense, but Warhammer has not had a very good history of being turned into video games, besides, the RTS series and that one action game with the Mary Sue of the Space Marines.
Space Marine!
Yeah, the Ultramarines are totally fucking Mary Sue's.
Remember, Space Marines always get the job done.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this isn't the first time that a heavy metal band
Why can't the
has
Space,
made
Space
a video
Army
game.
get a little recognition, or the Space Coast Guard?
Because only Space Marine exists. The only other human army that isn't the religious zealots is the Imperial Guardsmen. And their only weapon is a pointy flashlight.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what Strumon Studios, the creator of I, will do with the franchise when they make Space Hulk Deathwing, which is coming out 2016.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because basically their I Divine Cybermancy game, which is simultaneously awesome and broken, it was very much contained a lot of homages to Warhammer. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Like the attire, the apparel of some of the syndicates is very much the kind of imagery you'd see in Warhammer lore. Anyways, going back to the whole Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast, right? It actually is far from the first time that a heavy metal band has decided to dip their toes into video games. Like two very, very stark examples come to mind. And one is Kiss Psycho Circus, The Nightmare Child, which is an FPS sort of action-adventure where you play as one of the 4 Kiss metal band members. Actually quite good. It's very, very campy. It's very, very imaginative. And it uses the Quake 3 engine, so if you have a potato, you can run it today. You just have to find a copy on eBay because they're not selling it anymore.
Well,
The
of
second
course, because
example
it's an old
is-
game.
Yep. And the second example is Hail to the King Deathbat. which is basically exactly what this game is doing, but with Avenged Sevenfold.
You know, I'm thinking of another game. Another game that was first in the arcades, then it was on Super Nintendo and Sega, and it also made its way to PlayStation. It was like Anarchy something. It was a on-rails shooter.
Oh
where
yeah, them on rails.
where okay, the members of the band has been kidnapped by a secret organization that's trying to conquer the world, and to do that they are also kidnapping all their fangirls to turn them into mutant soldiers.
Uh,
And
well,
it's
that
your
might be my bad.
and it's your job to shoot down all the secret organization and free the girls with your infinite ammo and CDs. You throw CDs as a instant kill mechanic for most things. They chop off. They just kill everything. It's kind of funny.
That sounds like the perfect mix of camp and metalness.
Mhm.
I might actually have to look that one up. Was it a good game or was it a terrible game?
It was kind of a little bit of a mediocre game, but it was amusing.
Maxim Index in chat brings up a few others. Crew Ball on Genesis with Motley Crue music and Aerosmith Revolution X.
Oh, that's the game I was talking about, Aerosmith.
Oh.
Nice. Oh, and there's
I was
another
trying to
example that
remember
just
the
comes to
name. I
mind.
couldn't.
Oh, and there's another example that comes to mind. Holy Diver on the NES.
Wow, now we're going way back.
Yep.
Oh
We're
yeah.
going
Alright.
way back.
We should
Way
move on.
back.
Yeah. Let's move on. To Ravenloft returns to D&D.
Well, we went from one tabletop-oriented thing to another.
Monday morning, Wizards of the Coast announced that the popular Ravenloft setting make a return to D&D with a new 5th edition adventure called Curse of Strahd. Moving
Yeah,
on.
it's Strahd.
This
Strahd.
is something for old fans to celebrate since there were no official 4th edition materials for Ravenloft other than stats for Strahd. And even the 3rd edition version of the game world was made less threatening thanks to the wealth of power 3rd edition gave to players, enabling them to bypass much of the purposeful tension-increasing gimping Ravenloft once gleefully laid down upon PCs. Though it's unknown if the Ravenloft setting will be the fear-inducing, character-destroying, my powers don't work anymore land of empowered undead that it was loved for being in the 2nd edition is unclear, but there's always hope. I'm going to move on to the bottom instead of reading all of the quotes from the thing. So what does a tabletop RPG have to do with niche games? As is often the case with the tabletop game of D&D, whatever new settings or lands are featured in new modules often make it into their computerized versions as well. Much like how Neverwinter added the Rage of Demons storyline, it's highly likely we'll see Ravenloft eventually return to PC gaming for the first time since 1944 classic Strahd's Possession. The release date is set for March 15th.
Well,
I'd say it's pretty likely.
Mishka,
Yeah,
to give you
we'll see the world of Barovia in a PC game pretty soon, since we have a pretty recent and successful D&D game released like a few months ago called Sword Coast Legends, and apparently it's doing pretty well.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Coda?
Well, what I was going to say before Miss Valerie interrupted. Anyway, to give you an example of what our good buddy the Count here is in terms of the storyline, think of it as the D&D equivalent of Count Dracula, Lord of the Dead.
Oh.
Oh. So are you saying that this sort of storyline turns D&D into Castlevania?
More, not in the Castlevania sense, just more in the. He is extremely powerful vampire, as described in every single kind of legend involving Count Dracula. And as we see in the first comment, a nice little comparison with him. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets, but enough talk. Roll for initiative!
Wow, nice.
Yeah. I think I might be one of the only people in this group that's really played D&D.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe
Mafia,
QQ
I played this,
has.
actually.
I played a bit of second edition, but we played with groups that were so absolutely massive that we actually didn't get through many campaigns. So
Because it would take an entire night just to finish one round.
I'd love to play, to be honest with you. I'd love the opportunity to play, but I'm not getting into reading 50 million manuals, and plus, there's nobody around here to play with. I don't have any local friends that play.
You know what? Fuck it. As of today, I have now decided I will host a Star Sequency D&D session.
Yay!
Okay, so QQ is gonna be like the Puka, the Master of Deception.
what you mean going to be?
Oh,
He always is.
He's always the Puka race.
And Gremlin will be the charming but deadly rogue.
And I'll be the Husky.
You're just a mascot.
I'm the team mascot, because it would be wrong to put the Husky in danger. That would be animal abuse, according to PETA.
Well, of course, Gremlin. Of course you're charming. I mean, I fell for you. Wink, wink.
Y'all keep that faggot shit out of this podcast. This ain't no place for that. This ain't no place for none of that faggot shit. You better take that shit on somewhere else, boy. We ain't got no time for that. Do we want to move on, or
Yeah.
anything else to say? Alright. What is this? Hades
BlazBlue!
Izanami made playable in BlazBlue Central Fiction. Well, this one's short. Geeks Famitsu has confirmed that yet another character is being made playable in BlazBlue's Central Fiction. But the boss Hades Izanami is being made playable for the very first time in an update coming to the arcade version of the game on January 28th. Hades Izanami was first put into the series via the ending in BlazBlue Continuum Shift, as well as being made a boss in Chrono Phantasma.
I actually honestly didn't expect this to happen. Honestly, because Hades is not. Hold on.
in this
Okay.
case, it's time to slap the little bitches.
Do it!
Hades Izanami is the final boss in Chrono Phantasm. To be more clear, this isn't the exact version of the character, because the original final boss was more like a SNK boss style big giant monster, and the camera was pulled out, so you had to sort of kind of like beat the monster while it tried to. It was kind of like have you seen Galactus at the end of Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
Yes.
Nope.
Oh.
Where he's a giant boss, and
Yes. Her boss battle is more like a traditional video game boss fight, where you had to fight a giant monster and had to kind of keep attacking until you defeated it. It was a very tough boss. This version of her is a playable character version of the same character, and I'm currently already enjoying her gameplay from the trailer, from her ability to stop time and all types of wonderful stuff. It's a bit unexpected because I didn't think the character was a fighter themselves, because the final boss itself was more like she was floating around shooting things at you while the giant monster attacked you.
Well,
Hmm.
in a way, you can actually see her as basically the M Bison of Chrono Phantasm, or yeah.
Yes! Yes! Of course!
Uh,
I'm sorry, Valerie, I had to.
I
It's
wouldn't so
appreciated.
much use that comparison, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Eh,
It's obvious that when she was going to become a playable character, they wouldn't use that boss version of her.
Of course. Like, imagine if
Of
she won the
course!
tournament as is.
Yeah, there's actually a trailer for her, actually, but this article didn't link it.
I see.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
by the
really
way, as my friend had put, for anyone that doesn't know BlazBlue, in order to fully understand the story of BlazBlue, you need to 1. Get high, 2. Take some LSD, and 3. Listen to every single heavy metal band in the 80s and 90s at once.
So
Actually,
basically,
And there you will
that's
understand BlazBlue.
that's funny because actually, if you understand Kingdom Hearts, you understand BlazBlue. That's how complicated it gets.
The Blaze
I
Blue.
was gonna say it's gonna be exactly like exactly like Guilty Gear, because Guilty Gear has lots of metal in it, and it's pretty crazy.
I would say what Kota's comparison was is more akin to Guilty Gear, not BlazBlue. BlazBlue is way more traditional anime plot type
So
of style.
Uh,
traditional anime.
Yeah.
Well, he considers Guilty Gear is a little bit easier to follow than BlazBlue. And he does enjoy the games. He enjoys both Guilty Gear and BlazBlue. Just, he cannot stand the story for BlazBlue simply because it's that convoluted.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it as well, but I like a lot of the characters. And I just linked the trailer to it.
User in your channel timed out.
Sure, you could. I linked the trailer to the character.
or should I say,
Okay.
you can.
We lost QQ. QQ down. QQ down.
And I have muted it in case of it's having any copyright
User entered
material
your
in
channel.
terms of sound.
Maybe we should just, not show it. Just to be safe. You think that would be safer to just not show it? Because us just showing the trailer could be an issue.
Nah.
No, I don't think that is a problem.
Really? Because we did have that other video that got copyright.
That was a
claim put on
movie.
it.
No.
No, it would be for the audio. Showing a trailer that's embedded in a thingy isn't going to be a problem.
And also, that was a
Not to
movie we
mention
got a
it's video
copyright
game.
strike
In
against.
the video we got copyright claimed was from a movie.
I'm just saying, but Coda's probably already showing it, so
Yeah.
proceed.
Yep. My inner butts was inner buddy.
I want to make a surgeon joke, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, make a surgeon joke, like a surgeon. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Come
She
on,
looks
come on.
really fun.
She looks so fun.
Okay. Well, yeah, it does. She does look fun, and I wouldn't mind playing her in the upcoming game when it comes stateside. Hopefully, it comes stateside. And if it comes stateside, I hope
It will.
nothing gets changed.
Will come stateside.
But will it be changed?
Yeah.
Will it be changed
Nothing.
will the game be changed to suit a more wider audience?
Nothing. BlazBlue has never been censored before.
Woo!
Oh,
All right,
Jesus. I tell you though, if they censored Makoto's underboob, I would be really upset.
Mhm.
They haven't for the past 4 games, so
Good.
Well, next article involving Obsidian Entertainment.
Yes. Obsidian Entertainment, the people behind the highly buggy Fallout New Vegas are interested in making a Fallout 4 follow-up. In other words, Fallout New Vegas 2. We've learned via Cool Tech Info, like we know who that is, that Obsidian Entertainment is naturally up to making another Fallout game following the release of Fallout 4. Oh boy, get your butts ready! The news comes from
But
Obsidian
we haven't even gotten all the DLC yet for Fallout 4.
Eric Fenstermaker, who was asked on Twitter if they would be interested in doing another Fallout game. His response was as follows: "I'm always up for working on a Fallout." I think most of us, that wording, I think most of us generally are. It's a really fun property to work with. While this is nothing like a solid nod towards actual negotiations for a new game, Bethesda are still focused on Fallout 4 as they plan to release multiple expansion packs for the game. No shit.
Because they gotta milk it as much as possible right now.
I like how they make it sound like they're interested, like they're in talks about it. But all this is like, yeah, man, we're up to making another game if Bethesda wants. I mean, you know, it's all about what Bethesda wants, man.
Yep.
Well, by most of the community, Fallout New Vegas was better than Fallout 3, which was made by the Bethesda group, rather than the Obsidian group. I would like to see another game by them in the Fallout series, but hopefully not in New Vegas, you know, someplace else. Someplace where I do not have to hear fucking Johnny Guitar for the uptime time.
You know what would be interesting? If this Fallout game takes place in a sort of a much more different location, like, I don't know, Everest, or maybe, you know, the deserts of Australia.
The deserts of Australia.
Yeah.
Man,
Or,
no,
you know,
Australia.
the ultimate
Have
place.
you ever seen a radiation mutated koala bear? Or drop bear? Them drop
Exactly.
bears?
That is
Yeah.
why they should make it.
No. If they make a Fallout Australia, it needs to be done before Fallout, because that game would be hard enough already. We do not need koala death claws, trust me.
Or, you know, we just take it to the dirty Chinese Reds in the Fallout game.
Yeah, they really should. A lot of people have been mentioning that. Like, we should really get to see what happened to China. You know, what's China like? Is there a Hong Kong that's been completely decimated, like DC
Since,
was?
you know, China was the country that provoked the nuclear fallout in Fallout.
Yeah, they
series.
launched, we launched. It was the Cold War all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Except it actually happened this time. Hey, there's a story
Was it
over
so
here.
cold?
Well, let me check the Titan pad real quick. There's a story here. I want to see if it made it into the.
All right. I have to say though,
do
like,
we
it's
want
pretty
to-
weird that most of the Fallout games take place in America and not the rest of the world.
Because the storyline was flushed out for the American setting, they had not flushed out the rest of the world when they made the game. They haven't expanded beyond America yet. We don't know
Yeah.
what the rest of the world is like. For all we know, yeah, maybe America is the only hellhole.
Or maybe America is the only hellhole that is still inhabitable, and everything else is just like a giant fucking crater.
Yeah, we don't know. What if China had an amazing missile defense system and they're actually completely normal?
So,
Except, you know,
while
they're
we're
always
here-
constantly under threat by the mutants that we unleashed on them by doing the nuclear world strike.
I just saw one. It was only posted 3 hours ago. Do we want to maybe talk about Yandere Simulator being banned from Twitch, or do we want to just let that one slide?
We can save it for later, really.
Oh wait,
But-
never mind. It is on here. I have the Tech Raptor article. Forget it. My bad. I missed that one.
All right, so let's move on.
Moving on. New Xbox 360 backwards compatible Xbox One titles include The Witcher 2, Skullgirls, and more. More at 11.
Dun 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 dun.
So, Microsoft has rolled out yet another batch, I'm sorry, Coda, of backwards compatible Xbox 360 games on Xbox One. Now, this is surprising because when they made the Xbox 360, a lot of original Xbox titles
User
were
in your
locked out.
channel
You couldn't
timed
play
out.
them. The new list includes
User
the
entered your
games like
channel.
The Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings, Skullgirls, and more. I like Skullgirls, it's pretty fun. It's worth mentioning that The Witcher 2 is available free to both Xbox One and Xbox 360 owners between now and February 5th. Here's the entire list of games via Major Nelson. You can see here they have a massive list of games for you to play on your Xbox One. We have
Massive
Aegis
list of
Wing,
10.
Age of Booty, Counter-Strike Go, Jeremy McGrath's Off-Road, whatever the fuck that is, Sam and Max Save the World, Skullgirls, Small Arms, Soul Calibur, Space Giraffe, that sounds like Game of the Year, and The Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings. As you can see, they're clearly importing the entire Xbox 360 archive here. You can play all of it.
Isn't
gonna
there
be
a isn't there a Conquer game in Xbox 360?
No, there's not. It's on the original Xbox.
Well,
And it's
I
so
would
much
like to
fun.
see that on Xbox One.
I actually do pull out my old Xbox from time to time to play it. It's pretty fun. It's Bad Fur
Yeah.
Well, mine's Bad Fur Day with the Xbox Live.
Well, I
That's
have
the
the
thing.
original. I have the original for N64. I don't have the
Isn't it
Xbox
like-
version.
Have
Isn't there
Rare
like a
Replay.
sequel? Isn't there like a sequel where
Nope.
his girlfriend kind of like croaked?
Don't think
Nope.
so.
No, that was in the original.
Oh,
Spoiler
Wow,
alert.
spoilers much. Thanks, bitch.
oh.
You know, if you didn't know that one by now, it kind of your fault.
Yeah, it's like what, 20 years now?
Yep, something like that.
Man,
Actually,
if
when
only
was
I
it
can
released?
if only I can pull like Rare out of its graveyard and save it so they can make more Conquer games.
Oh, admit
One
it.
more Bandit.
You wouldn't have them make Conquer games. You'll have them make Bubsy games.
Actually, they don't have the license for Bubsy.
I know they
Bubsy
don't, but
would
you
be
would
an
still have them
excellent-
make Bubsy games anyway because you love Bubsy so much now.
Bubsy would be an excellent sidekick for Conquer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would be the bottom
I guess
Bubsy
so.
for Valerie.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah, it's pretty anemic to say the least. What games are now available on the Xbox One as 360 games?
Yeah, I moved on to the next article because it's not really
Where
us.
the fuck is Jet Set Radio Future?
It's in
I
limbo.
tell you where it is. Where it belongs. In the trash!
What is this?
Ishka?
I'm sorry, what, were we moving on?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, I was just taking a look. I was like, what the fuck? Step back into the past with 1980s themed platformer Super 80s World. The 1980s, back when popular culture celebrated its inanity rather than being ashamed of it. I really think that's a typo. I hope that's a typo. If you're one of those people who still pine away for that era of shell-top Adidas and VHS tapes, you're in luck. A new indie platformer is about to hit Kickstarter that fulfills that wish. That means that you're never going to see it. It's only going to be broken promises. Called Super 80s World is described by its creator, Michael Cowden of indie studio Tap It as, quote, a fun retro platform that takes you back to the era of new wave, neon, and decadence. The game borrows scenes and characters from popular 1980s properties, like this isn't copyright infringement, such as Miami Vice and the Ghostbusters, and as your character riding a DeLorean DMC-12, so expect it to be a bit heavy-handed with the 80s references. The game is planned to release on Windows, Mac, iPhone, iPad, Android, and Android Tab, and will be debuting on Kickstarter within the next couple of weeks. Until then, you can read more about it on its official site or its ModDB listing.
It's
Yep.
gonna be
Well,
garbage.
we all know
I'm
one
just gonna
thing.
say it straight up. It's gonna be garbage. Like,
At this point, I don't trust Kickstarter. I wouldn't trust them with anything.
it's not even that. It's the fact that it is a game that, tries so desperately to sell itself on its retro appeal. Games that do that often have no substance beyond, oh, it's 80s. Buy us, love us.
Well,
You
hey,
loved the 80s, didn't you? Yeah, the 80s. The 80s.
Fucking Kung Fury thing is popular as hell. I mean, I see big channels on TV actually airing that movie.
Yeah,
Well, that
that's
was
just-
actually
somehow.
fun. That was the thing about
But
it.
that's because Kung Fury is actually good. It's actually fun.
I don't know.
Maxim comments with, I like when people try to reference the 80s. They can't tell the difference between 8-bit and 16-bit graphics. LOL.
What?
I like when people try to reference the 80s. They can't tell the difference between
I like that.
8-bit and 16-bit graphics.
I'm not the only person who thought, how is this not going to get hit with copyright infringement?
Because, hold on, you have the burned up Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You have to Stay Puft Marshmallow Man copyright, and the Ghostbusters copyright right there. And then the
Well,
DeLorean.
Well, DeLorean, that is a load of copyrights because if they're using the actual time machine, they got to get back to the future, and not to mention from whoever owns the rights to DeLorean, because as we all remember, it was an actual car that's not in production anymore. I mean, and then Miami Vice, hell, there's, oh man,
Oh snap!
and you know
Someone in the
Ghostbusters
comments,
is not public domain because they're making a new one.
someone in the
Deal?
comments pointed out that the game has mixed pixel densities. Oh boy.
Oh, fuck. Fuck this
Okay,
game.
the only way this game can avoid copyright hell is by being 100% free. Then
Mixed
you can have.
copyright densities. What do you mean? I don't know that.
Mixed pixel
Mixed
densities.
pixel densities. That means that in a game, traditionally, unless they're using some kind of zooming effect, which you'll see that like in the intro to Super Metroid or something like that. Unless they're doing that, every single pixel on the screen is the same size always,
I get it.
because that is just how the engine worked. It had a fixed number of pixels horizontally, fixed number of pixels vertically, and that's what you got. So every single pixel had to be the same size, and every single pixel had to be grid aligned naturally, because that's just how it worked. Very often when people try to do pixel graphics but do not know what they're doing, they will make any given object in the game world have its own pixel size or pixel density, just because they don't know what pixels were. And it's easier to draw pixels than it is pixel art than it is to not draw pixel art if you don't care about what pixel art looks like or is supposed to look like. Pixel art is actually a challenge if you're trying to make it look like pixel art used to look like. If you're just throwing pixels on the screen, yeah.
Hey, but hey, that's how LGN gets his business done.
But LGN doesn't exist anymore.
For good reason. And hopefully it's gonna stay that way.
Anyway, I still
Okay.
think that the only way that they can avoid copyright hell is by making the game free.
Yep.
Or by doing what the AVGN Adventures did and turning it into a parody of what it's supposed to be. Like, for example, Thy Farts Consume, which is basically a parody of Doom.
Yo, we got 5 minutes left, boys.
You don't need to
Better
say that.
get this shit done. I know. I'm just picking on you. Stop.
Anyway, next article.
Yep.
Supposed gay conversion scene in Fire Emblem Fates being removed from Western versions. Gay conversion scene. Boy, your ass is gonna get made into a homosexual whether you like it or not.
No, it was actually the other way around.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. We've learned
Go ahead
via
and read it.
Nintendo.
It might clarify, because I forget the details.
Okay. We've learned via Nintendo World Report that a controversial scene from the upcoming Western release of Fire Emblem Fates is being altered, if not outright censored entirely from the game. Fuck you, Nintendo. Thank you, please. The scene involves a... Wait, okay, I scrolled too far. A female character, Soleil, pictured above, and what many websites previously coined as a drugging/gay conversion scene in the version of the game that ships to in the US and Europe. There's no expression which might be considered as gay conversion or drugging that occurs between characters, a Nintendo representative emailed us this morning. A shortened version of her entire story arc is as follows. Soleil easily gets hot and bothered around other women, fearing her ability to be strong and cool as a soldier. If you pair her with the male protagonist, a support conversation sees him use magic powder on her without her consent, making men appear as women and women appear as men. She winds up falling for the female version of the protagonist and ends up being eligible to be proposed to from his male form anyway. It's worth mentioning we still do not know her official sexual orientation, even though it's fucking obvious. Nintendo did not specify how the scene would be changed or if it would be censored completely. Does this mean the naughty dialogue and striptease mechanics will remain in the game? Probably not. However, we unfortunately won't know how much of the game has been gutted out for Western audiences until it ships. How do you feel about Fire Emblem Fates being censored? Sound off in the comments below, trying to sound like a fucking drill sergeant. Fuck you. You're just not cool. Not even cool.
Alright, first off, I would have to say that this is very much a product of culture shock. Like, you don't see a culture or a history in the nation of Japan where gay people are being converted to being straight through electroshock therapy or through, the whole Bible camp thing. So yeah, it's pretty understandable that people will be really, really shocked by this scene from America if it were to be imported into America. However, this is supposed to be like the product of a Japanese culture, and it should be presented as such. And so, yeah, if you're going to, take something from Japan and translate it for American audiences, you better pay some fucking respect to the original material and don't tamper with it just to adapt it to American sensibilities, because otherwise you will never give American audience a chance to see outside their own shell.
But don't you know, making them possibly, have this chance of making the supposed gay character that's actually bisexual, not fall in love with you is very, very homophobic.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Yes, it's true that this scene is pretty fucked up. You're pretty much using a power to subvert her natural tendencies towards women without her consent. And yeah, it's kind of fucked up because there's this it raises questions about consent, how acceptable it is to change a person's behavior through magical means without them knowing about it. It's kind of a very, very abstract moral dilemma, and I do think that it is worth being explored in this game, as fucked up as it is. And I think that the fact that it is fucked up is all the more reason that it should be preserved in American releases.
But then you make little Jimmy think that's okay to make the gay person straight, and therefore it's harmful to minorities, don't you know?
You know what? Narrative transportation works both ways. Yeah, if a game can turn you into a misogynist, then yeah, I guess you can see that how that could logic could apply. But fortunately, we live in the real world. Well, fortunately, we live in the real world, and in the real world, people know the difference between fantasy and reality, and only the most crazy of unhinged people would actually take what a video game represents as as how the world works and try to act upon it.
Okay, just one moment, Fuzzel. I need to go jump on some turtles really quick, okay?
Yeah.
You jump on some what?
Turtles.
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 While shooting a bunch of space demons, okay?
What?
Wow.
Coda's very heavily influenced by the games that Coda plays.
No kidding. So, do we want to move on?
No, actually, I want to hear Gremlin's input on this because he seems to have a lot to say when it comes to the video game censorship.
Yeah, Graham.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
Yep, we're in it for you. He said it twice.
Okay, so Niche Gamer didn't help. Even when they were trying to rationalize the scene, they didn't really help the attitude towards that particular scene. If anything, they only try to explain the Japanese context and how Japanese audiences will view it. But a good chunk of new American audiences are very sensitive Americans who take anything incredibly out of context because they don't understand the particular government. Not to mention, the Fire Emblem franchise, especially the newest one, is being marketed towards a broad audience appeal. As such, even if there was a small group of otaku audiences that were interested in that particular ideas and stuff and all that, and can easily separate the context from what it is like in America, there's still a large chunk of the audience who will start outrage over it. So the truth of the matter is, if they would have kept the scene uncensored, there's a very good chance they would have gotten a large amount of unwanted outrage and harassment from those people. So it's either take it or leave it for here.
Well, if you're concerned about this, just don't buy the version that is localized. Buy the original version and wait for the fan patches being worked on.
So I'm scrolling through the comments of the article, and this person in a comment said, "Proven to be a rumor."
Yeah, I noticed that too.
I think I shall copy it and give you guys the paste it in the chat for people who want to read it.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
I mean, reading as in the audience can read it, since we don't have time for it.
Read them. We do not. We actually have other shit to do tonight. New Street Fighter V alternate costumes have been leaked.
Oh boy.
I really don't want to. But a few days ago, the Street Fighter V beta was hit with a large 3 GB update. Fuck that. While we know this led to another phase of the beta test, we also know via Shoryuken that it includes several alternate costumes thanks to some resourceful Street Fighter fans. Reddit users fucking this guy and that guy went digging into the games to find several alternate costumes for most of the cast. Don't even get me started on Laura, that's just fucking dumb. Not shown in the gallery include a dress for Karen, a tattered costume for M. Bison, and a uniform for Cammy, just to name a few. You can view the full gallery over at Shoryuken. Street Fighter V is releasing on February 16th for PC and PlayStation 4.
Do not get upset by this.
Ken's eyebrows. He looks so creepy.
Do you know why? Why? Because there are DLC characters coming from Street Fighter V. And they're all free.
Okay.
The only thing that is DLC that seems to not be free, well, I don't actually know, is the costumes. We don't know whether or not the costumes will be free or paid for. But every single DLC characters, even the new ones, are free. So if people are just paying for cosmetic things like costumes, this is negligible. At the very least. Negligible. At the very least. So, we will see. But from what I know is that in the game, you can unlock all its content for free. If you do specific things. It'll be unlocking characters via gameplay and such and all that. Nice. As opposed to purchasing it. So, we'll see how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
So it might not be DLC, but microtransactions.
Yeah. I actually really like the police costume of Chun-Li.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Ken's outfit isn't too bad either, although it kind of makes him look like a Tekken character more than a Street Fighter character.
I'm going to be playing Ken for the first time ever in a Street Fighter game in a while.
Moving on to the next one.
I'm also going to be playing Karen because
Moving on.
I've never been a big Chun-Li player.
New Dead or Alive Extreme 3 owner footage might be too hot to handle. Koei Tecmo recently showed off some new footage for Dead or Alive Extreme 3. Oh my god, I can already feel the outrage from over here. Somebody get me my marshmallows.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling the boobies here.
Featured above, the new footage via DualShockers, originally broadcasted in a Nico Nico livestream. Editor's note: apologies for the poor quality of the article or the video. Footage shows off the owner mode, where you can simply oogle the ladies as they change outfits as they lounge about the paradise or while they polish things. You're such a faggot. You can also give them new outfits as gifts. He sounds kind of impartial to this. Dead or Alive Extreme 3 is releasing in Japan on March 24th, PlayStation 4 and PS Vita. The game is probably not getting a proper Western release. This is not the place to mention that, you fucking faggot. However, an Asian version with English subtitles is available for pre-order via Play Asia. Why are you bringing this into this article? This isn't supposed to be about that, Brandon.
It's paid
Probably
sharing.
because if someone clicks that link of the Play Asia from here, Niche
Yeah, but
Gamer
if they
might
click
get a
that- But if they
commission
click that
fee.
not getting a proper Western release link, it leads back to Niche Gamer, so they're going to get more ad revenue off of that.
Oh,
This is a
No, see,
this
the
is-
Play Asia
this is a,
lead-
clickbait.
the Play
Yeah.
Asia bit
Yeah, but they
actually
also link back
leads
to
to
their
Play
own
Asia.
article.
Okay,
but-
it does not look like the Play Asia link is an affiliate link.
Let's
Although,
Eh,
if
it's
you
not a
take
big deal.
any of the characters off of the end, it leads to a 404 page. So it looks like that is actually the product ID.
see. Interesting.
Whatever. So,
Okay.
what do you guys think of that one?
Any thoughts on this?
I
think
do
the
know
over-
that if this game were ever released in the Western audiences with this mode, could get a lot of outrage, especially for its name, Owner
I was gonna
mode.
say,
What? Didn't I just
So-
make that joke?
yeah. Well, the thing is that that's not quite what they mean. They mean, I'm guessing they mean team owner mode, because you own the volleyball team, right? Not that you own the actual girls or
It doesn't
something.
matter. People are gonna get
Everyone
mad
is
about
going
that.
to make the most worst assumptions simply because boobies.
Yeah.
Therefore, boobies are evil. Must censor. Protect the children. Protect everyone from corruption of the boobs.
Yeah,
We're all children. It's
It
hurting my
seems to me like female
fifis.
sexuality seems to bring out the most outrage of people ever. It's like you just show a pair of tits and then everyone just loses their mind.
But
It's because
yeah,
it's
but,
the most prevalent sexuality.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
but what
honestly,
about
yeah.
the Ballad of Gay Tony, where you had guys with their dongs flopping around, and there was no huge outrage about that?
Because
It
that
doesn't
was
matter
Grand
because
Theft Auto.
Female sexuality is the most mainstream and common.
Guys, we're really getting into some stuff that we shouldn't
I'm
be
just
talking
playing
about
devil's
here.
advocate here, so.
No devil's advocate. We agreed not to talk about this stuff.
Hey, I'm just trying to make a joke mainly with it.
We did?
Yeah, we said that we weren't going to talk about that particular set of issues.
I never said that.
I must.
We wasn't going to
have
mention a
long
certain
talk after this
thing.
podcast is over.
Yes.
Anyway, that's article.
Yeah, let's
Hideo
just move on.
Kojima teases new Hideo Tube video series. Hideo Kojima is seemingly back to his old antics, being a fucking troll, despite having left Konami proper and reformed his own Kojima Productions. Because, let's face it, he's also a little bit narcissistic, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The creator teased, featured above, the return of his weekly video program, formerly known as Kojima Station, only to now call it Hideo Tube, for obvious reasons. It remains unclear when to expect the first episode of his new program, but we'll keep you guys posted, because we can trust Brandon to bring us all the news.
One
Again,
minor
this sound-
point, it's pretty funny, but the katakana for this is actually quite inaccurate. It reads Hidechu.
Nice.
You notice that? Hidechu. So yeah, it has nothing to do with the pronunciation of Hideo, and it doesn't really read as tube. But yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Alright, QQ, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, having a weekly video program named after yourself does seem a little narcissistic, but hey,
Wait, have you played The Phantom Pain?
no.
Benich? Okay, every single episode, well, mission in the game is played out like an episode. It has credits at the beginning and the end, and Hideo's name is all over them. There is a joke about the credits of the Phantom Pain that I'm going to read verbatim for you here is, well, I'm going to quote, written by Hideo Kojima, directed by Hideo Kojima, produced by Hideo Kojima. I stand in the mirror and watch myself jack off Hideo Kojima. It's actually that accurate because there's a lot of his name is all over the game.
Oh my!
Which makes sense, I will admit, to you know, when you consider all of what happened with Kojima.
Hmm.
Yep. Anything
Hmm.
else to discuss?
Well,
it would be pretty interesting to see what he would come up with in his channel endeavors. There really isn't much to say other than he is doing this thing and we look forward to it.
All right. Anything else to discuss?
I mean, like the closest I could equate this to would be like if Hideo Kojima made his own version of Nintendo Direct.
Okay. Before we move to the next article, Coda, to the right, do you see the Western box art for Pumpkin Tournament revealed?
yep,
Click that.
done. Ooh.
Yeah, that was worth clicking. That looks nice. I just
Let
thought
me
we should
see.
take a minute. I just thought we should
That
take a minute.
is
to
some
look at this.
extremely detailed fur on that Lucario.
Isn't it? Ain't it great? I just got a Lucario in Pokemon X today. It's great.
Yeah, I
I
have
just wanted to
Lucario
take
as
a
well.
minute to enjoy this. That's all. We can go ahead and move on if you'd like.
Well, quick comments. What does everyone else think of the Pokken Tournament box art?
Tournament. Yeah, the Western box art.
All I want
Um,
is to play the game.
Okay.
I don't see the link to it.
It's on a link. It's in the feed.
Oh,
Okay. So, do we want to go ahead and move on?
nice.
I
Yeah.
just thought we might enjoy the quick look.
And that is
And an
fucking
amiibo
awesome.
card included. Oh my
I should
god.
definitely move on.
Yes, let's move on to a Korean shmup.
Korean Shmup 1943 1943. Megami Strike lets you date pretty girls. Korean developer Game US has put its Shmup 1943 Megami Strike up on Steam Greenlight. It's a top-down shmup in which you can collect 400 cards that each depict one of the game's quote-unquote pretty girls. I don't see why that's in quotations, but whatever. The cards also correspond to individual ships with different weapons and skills. You can level them up with the materials you collect, but also go on dates with the girls and increase their stats. What is this, Kantai Collection? 1943 Megami Strike has 5 different modes: Quest, Challenge, Raid, Det, Pussy, Training, and PvP. It was originally released for free on iPhone and Android last year. Read more. Oh, never mind. So yeah, it's a bullet hell type game.
With
Doesn't look too terribly
collectible
fun.
cards. I thought it was
Yeah,
kind of
actually.
funny because it's like collectible cards that also let you date the cards on with the girls on the cards. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm actually
what?
gonna have a quick look at this. I wonder how much it's gonna be when they release it.
The game looks fairly
It's mobile,
decent.
so
It looks kind of
It'll
fun, actually.
it'll either be cheap or free with microtransactions.
Oh my god, this actually does look
Well,
fun.
it's coming to Steam, so it's gonna be cheap.
Ah, okay.
Nice music too.
Well, I'm not playing the music out of the possibility
Yeah, don't
of
play
a
it.
copyright strike. Yada yada. So that's how you get the cards in a mystery ball. Oh, I wonder what's in the mystery ball.
Here's a thought though, because since the game is going to Steam, right? Would the cards you collect would be actually tied to the cards, like as in the Steam inventory cards?
Probably not, because then they would have to add a feature where it tracks your inventory rather than the in-game inventory.
Yeah, that would take a lot of work, but it would be pretty funny if that is true.
User in your channel
Oh,
timed out.
disengage. We are not signing into Steam. I refuse. I refuse.
Why?
Because every time, no matter how many times I tell it to
User
save
entered
the
your
computer,
channel.
I always have to go to my email, get a code, come back. Just, it's more annoying than it should be. Despite all of their security bullshit that I have to be annoyed with, someone in Russia still tried to log into my account.
Let's move on to the next article.
I knew
Yes.
Gremlin would love this one.
I know why. I know why. I know
Kamen
why.
Rider Batch Ride War Genesis trailer shows off its Showa riders. Bandai Namco released the latest trailer for the motherfucker.
I'm showing it. Calm down, Gremlin.
Bat Ride. I'm gonna smack you both. I really am. I'm gonna take you both after this video, and I'm just gonna.
Giggity.
With a look at Showa era riders in action. The video shows various Kamen Riders from the show period with heroes that appeared in the series from 1971 through 1989. Riders they show are in the order of Kamen Rider 1, Kamen Rider 2, V3, X, Amazon, Stronger, Guy Rider, Super 1, Black, and Black RX, because there have to be 2 black ones. Kamen Rider Bat Ride War Genesis. I'm getting seriously sick of saying this name. My god. Genesis will release in Japan on February 25th, 2016 for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation Vita. You can also check out the earlier report for a look at its opening movie. Fuck.
Oh my god, this is essentially Dynasty Warriors, but with Kamen Rider.
Yep. Kamen Rider is known for having very quality video games, especially compared to Sentai, because Kamen Rider is much more popular in Japan than Sentai.
Uh-huh.
Most Sentai games end up being crap.
That's sad. Considering, well, Kamen Rider is like the more serious version of Sentai.
Yeah, considering that Power Rangers is super, super popular and people really want a decent Power Rangers game, they're probably never going to get it because Sentai just isn't cool enough to get quality games made by Namco Bandai.
Until now.
But we all know one thing, Gremlin. Namco Bandai can't make a good PC port.
Namco Bandai can't milk steel beans. This particular game.
Actually, to be fair, they did kind of okay with Tales of Zestiria, although a lot of improvement could be made.
Just to be clear, Kamen Rider Battle Ride War Genesis features all Kamen Riders, including every Kamen Rider from 1960. Let me read that again. Okay, 1970 all the way to now. So this trailer is showing off the Showa Riders, and the Showa Riders are Kamen Riders that appeared during the Showa period of Japan. And I assume the next trailer would show all of the Heisei Riders, which are the Kamen Riders that appear towards the Heisei period. And if you know anything about Japan history or anything like that, you can pretty much explain it because I'll be terrible at doing that. But I think it has something to do with Japan's emperors. But apparently, currently, there are 3 periods. Showa period, Heisei period, and Neo Heisei period for the Kamen Rider franchise. So, not sure how they'll do it. Either they'll split it up to 3 videos, or they'll just announce all of the Heisei Riders in one video, which is quite a great deal compared to the Showa era Kamen Riders currently.
Well, this trailer is over 7 minutes long. Almost 8. So they might just make it in one video.
So it'll be a great deal of Kamen Riders from the Heisei Riders, including Kuga.
Okay, Grim, I have to interrupt you for 1 second. Why is one of the Kamen Riders a fishman?
Oh, Amazon? Amazon was part of a Kamen Rider series that was very violent, to say the least. If you watch old clips of it, you'll see things like when he does his final attack, monsters spill monster blood all over the place or something like that. And I guess he was sort of a Jungle Boy motif or something like that. It's probably one of the most violent of the classic Kamen Rider series or something like that. Because I guess they were trying something new during the time. But his name is Kamen Rider Amazon, and he was raised in the jungle.
Well, I kind of hope this might ever possibly come to the US. Simply because I don't want to pay the import fees.
Unfortunately, it will never come to the U.S. as long as there's no Kamen Rider adaptation in the U.S. to supplement it.
Also, there's a long-running history where most Dynasty Warrior clones never make it to the U.S. outside of Japan.
Like
Like,
Sengoku
for
Basara.
example, Fist of the North Star. Like, Fist of the North Star, right? Only got one game released here, right? I think, if I remember. And, yeah. Second one didn't end up being that good either.
The Sengoku Basara franchise made by Capcom, which I think is superior to the Dynasty Warriors franchise, has never been released outside the US except for 2 games. A very bad adaptation called Devil Kings, and a better adaptation on the Wii and the PS3 called Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. But other than that, those are the only 2 ports that's ever been released.
Okay. Well, on to the next article, because I'm pretty sure Mishka's tired of hearing about Kamen Rider.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just wondering how long we took on that one.
Not too long.
Full of 10 minutes, surprisingly.
Really? So what you're saying is that we went over.
Oh no, we didn't go over. But
okay.
I think I might have accidentally forgot to reset the time because I think we were using the full. I think that actually was less than 10 minutes. I don't know because I think I lost track.
Of course you did.
Well, I started playing the trailer at the start of you reading that, so it didn't even finish yet.
How
so
long
it wasn't
was the trailer?
8 minutes.
7:46.
Okay, the Wild Arms creator teases a little meeting for its 20th anniversary. The Wild Arms series is celebrating its... What the fuck was that? And creator Akifumi Kaneko appears to be teasing a little something for it on Twitter, with talks about a meeting that recently took place. Thanks, Game Juhu. So anyway, I'm just getting back from a Wild Arms meeting, Kaneko tweeted. The participants included myself, Naruke-san, composer Michiko Naruke, and everyone's favorite promoter, Nishijima-san, Taku Nishijima of Sony. It was a night full of emphasis on this is the series' 20th anniversary. Wait, never mind. It was a night full of emphasis on this is the series' 20th anniversary, man. It was certainly cold outside, but we were definitely getting heated up. Oh, wow. While he doesn't specifically mention anything that is in the works, it's interesting to hear about how they gathered for this occasion. Some of you may recall that Kaneko mentioned a couple years ago that he's been working behind the scenes on a certain something, and he thanked fans for voting for the Wild Arms series, which managed to reach the number 2 spot for sequels and remakes that they'd like to see most in a Famitsu poll. That's it.
I am pumped.
Oops.
That's really nice.
For this. I am pumped for this. The Wild Arm franchise is one of my favorite RPG franchises of all time. And
I love the series as well.
Not only the developer, but the composer, Machiko Naruke, is involved in this gives me hope that this might be a good series. I've been needing a new soundtrack done by Michiko Naruke.
Like, usually when it comes to revivals like this, right, they will try to take their swing at remaking old games, and hopefully they're going to end up doing it justice, because like usually when you get things that are revived from like the old era.
Lady, they already remade the first Wild Arms.
Yep.
Look it up. There's a remake of Wild Arms that's already been released.
Nice.
I think it's called Wild Arms R or something like that.
It is called... Give me a second. The first as Wild Arms Altered Code F for the PlayStation 2 in Japan, where it was released in North America in 2005.
Ooh. Somehow I completely missed that.
I never got a chance to get it, sadly.
Yep.
It would be pretty interesting to see like the entire series remade for a much more modern generation, and then with a new game coming out on top of that to make some sort of a super compilation where you get to relive your old memories of playing Wild Arms and getting excited to play the new ones.
Well, there has been plenty of Wild Arms games recently. I think there have been 5 main series Wild Arms games, plus a remake and a spin-off.
Interesting.
Yes.
So what is this spin-off?
Wild Arms XF for PlayStation Portable. It was a tactical RPG as opposed to the rest, and I guess it had its own story and world. Also, apparently, there was a mobile game.
Nice. So yeah.
So
Anything else to add?
Me would like a Wild Arms 6. Just saying. At least an evolution to the franchise would be nice for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always nice to see evolution to something that is old. Yeah. Like, while I do like to see the purity of an old game preserved for a newer generation, sometimes there are some stuff that just doesn't age well.
Yep. Well, moving on to the next one.
Okay.
Alright.
Dragon Age lead writer David Gator leaves BioWare. Oh no. David Gator, former lead writer of on the Dragon Age franchise at BioWare, is leaving the game studio after 17 years. He announced his departure in a tweet earlier this morning. Some news. I must sadly announce that after 17 years... Oh my god, never mind. Today is my last day at BioWare. I'll miss my team and wish everyone here the best. The split between Gator and BioWare was a positive one. It was indeed my decision, one not made easily since BioWare's been very good to me and the parting is amicable, said Gator to a website...
Polygon.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice that that's who he talks to. It's simply time to move on to a new challenge. Been with BioWare since 1999, working as a writer on Baldur's Gate 2 Shadows of Ammon. His best-known work includes his character writing, creating party members as Carthanasi and HK-47 from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and Deacon, the Kobold Bard in Neverwinter Nights. Oh, a Kobold. Gator also became the lead writer on Neverwinter Nights, and would later become the lead writer on Dragon Age franchise. Yeah, this just goes on to talk more about him. He stepped down. That's the article.
I pretty much just picked this because, hey, someone that did Dragon Age and someone from BioWare is leaving, basically. Now I wonder what he's gonna do now. Maybe...
Honestly, it's a long time coming. Like, with the way BioWare has been going these days, right? I really don't see much else BioWare has to go other than down.
Seems quite a few people are starting to jump the BioWare ship. And soon BioWare will be consumed within the bowels of EA.
Yep.
Well, they managed to hang on longer than most studios EA absorbs.
Uh-huh. And that's because BioWare makes games that are really good, so I don't think EA would want to kill the golden goose just yet.
Rather, they used to make games that were really good.
Yeah. Not much to say. I mean, like, it's BioWare. At this point, I can't really bring myself to care.
Yep.
I mean, it's a game that used to be good, but now it's just, sucking its own dick all the time. and the fact that they are pretty active in censoring discussion that is critical of their games kind of struck a very, very sour note in me.
Yeah, I can't really say much else about it. How about you guys?
Okay, so next is Lewd Gamer, just so you know, Coda, so you can go ahead and find your pictures.
Yep. For those who are tuning in for the first time here, Lewd Gamer, porn game site. I can't show porn. We'll get banned if we show porn. So, when it comes to this part, y'all get to enjoy cute gifs and pictures of puppies and kittens. Like this right now.
May I continue?
Yep.
Adventurous Monster Breeder gets new public release. Independent developer Lust Over Reality has recently released a new public release of their Monster Girls breeding simulator Adventurous Monster Breeder, which I would have loved to have played if it didn't have such high graphics requirements. Made in Unreal Engine 4, this should be obvious that you can't run it on a normal computer.
Well, now that you have a computer coming in the mail, you can actually play it now.
We weren't actually going to talk about that on here, but yeah. But anyway, that's...
I'm sorry.
The story. That's the gist of it. It just goes into details about the stuff. I don't think anybody here wants to hear about that.
Hang on, let me just
Look at that.
Oh boy. Raider. Oh god. Why is Firefox so garbage?
Sorry, what are we doing? Oh, what's this?
Oh, so we're talking about this video game that's been
Oh god. Oh, it's good.
The trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. So,
Alright.
are we done with this article?
Actually, I would like to point out some of the changes in the version 3.5 that has been added.
Go for it.
Yeah, they added genetic level, verification level, cat, girl, humanoid, have furry, full furry versions, and basically main menu. And when you interact with monsters, the mini menu with actions and basic information about the monster. Then you get like information including pregnancy status, furry, genetic level, name, mother's name, and other improvements to textures. In other words, this game is starting to delve into furry territory with genetic sort of panic.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, so what do you think?
I think it sounds fun, and I think as soon as that new computer you were nice enough to tell everybody about gets here, I'm going to try this.
Yeah, it would be pretty nice to see, like, you build your own, like, waifu. Furry waifu. In this game. Or husband, though, if you're in that kind of thing. Come to think of it, all the screenshots seem to feature female monster girls and not males. That kind of needs to be changed.
Monster Girl is more popular than Monster Boys.
Which is kind of a shame. Anyways, yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Lewd look. Sword of Resistance. Sometimes one gets the pleasure of playing a game that is so average in every conceivable way, you just want to hate it. The burning passion of several hundred dying stars while Sword of Resistance may just be the epitome of the word mediocre. I'm surprisingly incapable of bringing myself to despise it too much. Now we're just being cheap because it doesn't look that bad. I mean, it's not perfect by any means of the word. But you're just being a little unfair with it now, I think. I mean, it's even got a gallery mode. You know,
I have to say, though, I'm not too keen on the graphics since it seems to have a very, very flat perspective.
I've seen stuff
see
way
this
worse
screenshot.
than this.
Yeah, that's true, but the style of the character sprites and the background environment sprites is very jarring. I mean, like, take a look at the Minotaur in the second screenshot, right? You see that his body is very cleanly cel-shaded and not cel-shaded in a way that is very good. It actually doesn't really show the form. It kind of makes him look like a giant chocolate bar wielding an axe. And then you take a look at the background, which has like this really super detailed textured clouds with soft illumination from the sun, and then you have like the stone textures on the castle walls, and you have to wonder, is this game made by two artists who have no communication between each other? Because it certainly seems that way. That's about the extent of my criticism of this game's visuals. It's actually not that bad, like otherwise. Oh, and you get to see Arctic. That's always nice.
It is currently... Oh, it's all in Japanese.
Mm-hmm. So the game
Site. It's
is
currently
now...
1,620 yen.
Yep. In other words, it's $16 in that site.
Still not that bad. Really.
A bit steep for what it actually offers, though. Like, there's... Yeah... I don't know. It seems pretty average, like you say, but it's not bad, so...
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely worse stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
The video on the site's broken, I know that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, and it's got bug porn. That's always great.
I guess you can say that the game delves into zombie territory.
Okay, so... Do you want to complain about it a little bit more, or do you want to move on?
Nah, I think I'm gonna move on. Like, that's all I really can say about the game, because, visual stuff, kind of my thing.
Yeah. Tower Fag is creating Tower Girls Kingdom Conquest. This looks like an RPG Maker kind of game.
Wait, hang on. The name of the developer is Tower Fag.
That's what it says. The independent developer known as Tower Fag is creating an erotic RPG called Tower Girls Kingdom Conquest based on a popular choose-your-own-adventure chart. That is a choose-your-own-adventure chart detailing a variety of waifus alongside the question of which ones the reader would save. It originated from a creative... Oh my god. It originated from V. A V thread where posters would fill in a meme, the subject of which was a knight bursting through a door with the text, "Princess, I've come for you." The subsequent panel would then be open to the interpretation of the artist. Okay, basically, we know the kind of shit that comes from the internet. That's what created this game.
That explains the name Tower Fag.
Oh my god, this guy actually helped with Corruption of Champions. That should tell you exactly where this is going.
Oh wow, okay, you know what? Now I definitely have to take a look at this, because if it's made by the same COC guy, then
No. This isn't Finoxo we're talking about, but this guy had helped a little bit with Corruption of Champions.
Oh.
No, this isn't Finoxo.
I know, but if it's related to COC, then I want to look at it.
I wouldn't call it related, no. It's just, they mentioned that as a sign of his credentials. And this is definitely an RPG game, maker game.
Yeah.
Which means it
actually doesn't look too bad.
Free.
Yeah. I want to take a look at it, though. It seems pretty interesting.
Well, do you want to do that while we're on the stream, or are you going to do that in your own time?
No, I'm just commenting that
here it is.
I'm interested in, taking a look at it.
Sorry, it uses RPG Maker VX Ace.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Let's see. The 7.2 version containing the game proper and an ATP system demo tests a newly implemented combat mechanic. So we're going to be seeing blowjobs in real time.
Okay.
Okay.
We got one more Lewd Gamer article. Inti creates confirms Galgun Double Piece EU and NA release for 2016. Wow, this already looks pretty good. Let's see.
Oh,
Game
wow,
features. It is
The
a
art is really nice.
gorgeous anime-styled rail shooter action. Use your targeting cursor to fend off the advancing girls. Story mode. Play through the story and see if you can successfully confess your feelings to the girl of your dreams. Score attack. Play specific levels to achieve the highest scores. Selection. Take a look at your achievements, image gallery, and information on all the lovely ladies at the academy. Choose your own love interest. Your choices will change the story and the path you take throughout the game. Basically a visual novel. Doki Doki mode. This is for when it's time to break out the big guns. Turn the girl's happiness up to 11 with this heart-throbbing technique as you aim for
Oh
the
my God.
coveted double piece result. Their outpouring of love even has a bomb effect which clears the screen of oncoming girls. Closet. Change what the girls are wearing in-game. Different outfits and costumes can be applied to various characters as you see fit. New costume DLC can also be purchased. There are 450 underworld signs to discover. Now only $99.99. $9.99. Yeah.
game
Galgun is
actually-
This actually has some good detail to it,
Yeah, the artwork is nice, and the gameplay seems to be very, very solid.
but it's
Basically, it's a
PS4
light gun
and
shooter.
It's PS4 and Vita, and the PlayStation 4 is $67.49.
I made a
Yeah.
comment about this game. I said that Galgun's coming out to the US. That means that Tecmo Koei has no excuses. I've seen a good chunk of gameplay of this, and it even has its own little sort of leering at girls mode on it, just so y'all know. And it has boobie sliders and other wonderful fetishy things.
But does it have anything actually worth having in it? I mean, it looks like a soccer game.
Yeah.
Nothing but tease fuel.
I'll have to say this though, at least it's cheaper than pre-ordering the OAX3.
Yeah,
Basically $100 fucking
it
dollars
has
to get a
it has
new
a mode
game.
where you can change costumes, and you can change the boob size of the various girls and such like that. It's also a very, very decent light gun game too, as well. So
And what were you gonna say, Coda?
Basically almost $100 to get a new game. Jeez.
Oh, I thought it
And
was
that's with no DLC.
$70.
Now it's only 70.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was a DLC for this game that was really, really fucking expensive.
The game is really, really fucking expensive.
What game?
This
the
game.
OAX3 or this one? Oh, this one.
This
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit steep. Like,
I mean,
who's
it's
gonna pay
more than-
$67?
Yeah, it's slightly more than AAA games come out
Damn.
for.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not even right.
I guess you could justify that by saying that it covers the import prices, but still, $67.49
No,
is kind
no,
of
that's
a pain in the wallet.
import price is my ass. That nuh-uh. Plenty of stuff comes out of Japan that is the exact same price as everything else.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to upcoming.
Alrighty then. Guilty Gear XRD. What?
Just make it quick, that's all.
Guilty Gear XRD Revelator launches May 26th in Japan. Newcomer Haihyan. Reveal.
Yeah.
Sega
Kum
3D
Haihyan.
Classics Collection announced, coming to retail. Atari Vault coming to Steam this spring with over 100 classic games. Yeah! Hyrule Edition, new Nintendo 3DS confirmed for Europe. Sega
Oh.
teasing Valkyrie Chronicles remastered localization announcement on January 25th.
Nice. You know what? I'm excited for the Hyrule edition of the new 3DS.
I'm not. I want an Animal Crossing 3DS.
I didn't
or
buy-
an Eevee.
I didn't buy Guilty Gear signed because I was waiting for Revelator.
And let's see, the 3D Classics and Atari thing. I'm not sure what the 3D Classics entail. Is it like those early 3D games? And turns out it
No.
is.
No, 3D Classics is a bunch of Sega games that are optimized for 3D for the 3DS.
Oh, Let's see, Power Drift, Puyo Puyo 2, Fantasy Zone 2W, Sonic the Hedgehog, Thunderblade, Galaxy Force 2, Beast, Fantasy Zone 2, and Maze Walker.
Remember that announcement? Remember that announcement for the Sega games that was supposed to come out?
Yeah.
This was that announcement.
That's not much of a collection, to be honest, because I would
Yes,
have
I know.
preferred there to be like Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles,
Sonic
As
3
well.
Knuckles will never be re-released.
which makes me really sad. As for the Atari games, it's over 100 classic Atari Age console games. So if you're missing the touch of Pong, you can get that soon enough. Let's see, there's a full list of games that hasn't been available. So what we know has been available is Missile Command, Asteroids, and Centipede. Yeah, if you like Atari, I think you're gonna love this. That's all I have to say.
Alrighty then, does that mean we're done?
Yep.
Almost, yeah.
Well, almost. Pretty.
QQ, anything else to say?
Sorry.
Well, that's quite riveting, QQ. I'm glad we waited for you to say that.
Hey, let him finish.
No.
You've been quiet for quite a while, QQ.
Yep.
So, anything else? Anyone want to say?
Nah, I'm good.
I'm
Then I
good
guess we
myself
can wrap
as well.
this up.
Well, Grim, all I have to say is maybe one day me and you can get the Kamen Rider game.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I might. I think about importing it, and I don't understand anything in it, but it'd just be fun little game to play.
Alright, so
Okay.
are we gonna be playing the outro?
Indeed, we shall be.
Wait, also don't forget that Star Sequence now has a Twitter page. Follow us at the stars at the Star Sequence. That's weird to say, but
Yeah.
you'll find us.
Or post
Also-
furry porn at us. We don't mind.
Also, don't forget to follow our individual Twitter pages. We're always looking for more followers, except for Graham and Valerie. They're trying to get rid of followers. So if you follow either of them, feel free to unfollow them and follow me, because I actually don't mind having more followers.
You might want to be careful if you decide to follow me. I tweet out furry porn. I'm not safe
So
for
do I,
work.
quite often.
Oh gosh, I am so sorry, Remy. I was trying to check the chat and answer questions, but y'all were too busy arguing about current dramas that are happening this week.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Remy was I don't have the chat open. I've got articles open because I got to read this shit. What did Remy say? What did you have to say, Remy?
they're just talking about stuff, and I'm like, I stopped paying attention when everyone started arguing about current dramas that isn't part of my podcast.
Yeah, we're not gonna be talking about drama unless it relates to gaming. So yeah, I'm sorry.
Nope, that's perfectly understandable.
Yeah, we do try to keep it professional here.
Well,
Bullshit.
I think that'll be it for tonight.
Keyword
Oh
try.
wow, we actually had some good followers tonight. Holy shit.
Nice.
Yes, we
Yeah,
should
we actually had a
stream
lot of
more
people
often on
talking in
YouTube.
here. We'll see if they gained us any new followers.
Hope you all enjoyed tonight's episode, and I hope you all enjoyed the various images I found on Imager for y'all to look at instead of the porn. Yep.
Yep, that happened.
Y'all have a good night.
I hope to
Bye-bye.
see you next week.
Ciao!
Bye bye. Au revoir.
Well, this is